Hello everyone, welcome to this next video. I'm looking at article this time. Um, okay. So we are using. So I'm going to go through. Um, why do you write an article? Some basic steps on writing article. And for SPM level, and then we'll try to unpack a question, a trial question. I think it's from Penang or Negeri Sembilan. I'm not sure, but let's get straight into the video. Okay. Okay, so the purpose of writing an article, basically you want to inform readers, you want to provide a news, you want to give advice, or you want to clarify, or you want to shed light on an issue. Okay, so these are the key reasons why you write an article. So these are among the four reasons why. Now you need to know this, the purpose of writing an article, because once you know the purpose, bila kamu tahu tujuan kenapa kamu menulis sebuah artikel, it is so then it'll be easier for you to write the piece that you want to communicate to your audience. Okay. Um, so an article has five paragraphs. Basically, you have an intro, a conclusion, and three body paragraphs. Sometimes an article will have six paragraphs, but it's around five to six, sometimes four to five. So around four to six paragraphs should do it. But for SPM level, if you really want to be safe, just go for five paragraphs. You should be okay. And the tone of the article is usually formal, so do not use contractions. Which I'm don't. I am. Jangan pendekkan perkataan. Don't use words like wanna. Sorry, like wanna. Don't use this kind of words. Or going. You put something like this. Okay, you can't use this for article, and don't use slang terms as well. Okay. Introduction to an article. So the introduction piece, very simple. You need to have three things. First off, you give a general statement based on the topic. Some keywords here like important, on the rise, common. So let's say the article is about a local destination, traveling, like tourism, right? Okay, tourism. So you can start off like say like tourism place, or maybe not tourism. Let's say traveling, lah. Traveling plays an important role um, in our lives as keeps us keeps us healthy. For example, it keeps us mentally healthy. Okay, this is just random statement, but your introduction, your first line, a general statement, give something general pointing towards to the subject matter, to the topic. Then you can provide some background or content, or context as well. So you can give some examples or write some history about the matter. So if you're talking about traveling, then you can say like, humans have always traveled to find for peace. You can, if you're talking about like something more local, you can say like, local tourism is extremely important to ensure to support our local economy. Or we must, as Malaysians, we must travel locally to appreciate our culture, something like giving a background on your topic. Okay. And then you rewrite the main idea of the topic. So therefore this article will discuss, then you write what the article will discuss. Okay. I don't really have an example here, but it's fine, because I don't want this video to be long. Your English paper is basically tomorrow. Right now I'm in the UK, so it's like 10 p.m. here for me, but in Malaysia it's like it's on a Sunday, you're just waking up, so I don't want this video to be long. But you kind of get the idea on how to start the introduction. As for your body paragraph, there's this thing which I use always. It's called PEAT, PEET. You give your point, you give your elaboration, you give your example, and you give your tie up. So for your point, you write down the main point you're going to discuss, give some elaborations, use WH questions to brainstorm ideas, give some real world examples, and then you tie it up. You you tie up the main paragraph by connecting to the main point. Okay. So let's say the main point is traveling to, let's just say like your point is like traveling helps with anxiety, traveling helps to improve mental health. So your tie-up will say like, indeed traveling does help with mental health because it gives you a sense of relaxation and calmness, as you learn about new places. Okay. So something like that. um Again, you can watch my other videos. I've gone more into details, but for today, just very briefly, like, if you're stuck in your SPM paper, what do you do? Go to think about this, give your point, give your hurayan, your elaborations, give your some examples, give your tie-up. Sometimes you can't think of an elaboration, you can't think of an elaboration. Don't worry about it. Forget about the elaboration. All right, just give examples, give two examples then. Right, don't worry. Sometimes you don't have examples, then forget about the examples, just give the elaborations. So it's not something fixed, okay, but the point and tie up must be there, so that's why it becomes a single paragraph. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. How to write the conclusion. Again, rewrite your thesis statement. So in conclusion, this essay discuss the place that which I love to visit, which is say Pulau Perhentian, Langkawi, and then you can highlight some of your main points if you really want to, and then you can strengthen the importance of your idea. So you can mention like why say traveling locally. So you can say, in uh, to conclude, um, traveling really helps us to feel better and more patriotic towards our nation. Okay, something like this. Okay. So so here are some cohesive devices. um, so again, very quickly, so for point, you have firstly the first advantage is one of the disadvantages is however is tetapi, furthermore, or moreover. Of course, you have other points. You can use um, other connectors. For example, you can use parallel with that. So you can then write. Then for sorry, parallel with that is for the elaboration. Okay, but you also can find other points for connectors. For elaboration, let me just rub this off so it doesn't look so messy. Okay. Um. Right. So for elaboration, this is because parallel with that, also this showcases that, this highlights that. You can also say this underscores. Okay. Um, for example, I'm gonna give you an example here, right? Okay. Firstly, like very simple to use connectors, right? Firstly, Langkawi is a great place to travel. Okay, full stop, and then maybe you want to give two elaborations. This is because it has a rich history. Okay, um, this is further underscored. So this is a passive state sentence. Huh? This is further underscored uh, through the legend of Masuri. Okay, I think in future videos I'll try to make it look more beautiful. But again, I want this to be a very quick video just to refresh you right before your SPM. Okay. For instance, to illustrate, to exemplify, I've given you four, you're going to use only three to four. So again, extra stuff for you. For example, everyone uses it, great. You can use it for instance as well. And then tie up. So therefore, hence thus. Okay, again, you have four, you're probably only going to be using three. Um, okay, let's look at this question here. And we are going to unpack this question. I think this is the most important part of this video because I want to show to you to make sure you get your content 5 marks, and then all the other things you are able to make sure you score at least a 4 or for everything is a 5, right? Um, so look into the question very carefully. Do you enjoy traveling locally? Okay, the question is just traveling locally, so probably you're going to put a yes here. Okay, but you do not need to answer yes, but I just want you to think with your brains. Oh, okay, yeah, I like traveling locally. Okay, I enjoy like traveling locally. Tell us about a local destination that shouldn't be missed. So this is basically point one. Okay, share some advantages of traveling locally compared to going abroad. So now you're making a comparison with going abroad, and be careful here, it says share some advantages, so you cannot write one advantage, you need to write at least two. So this is point 2 and point 3. Okay. And give us some practical tips on how to fully enjoy a local trip. Again, look at the S here. So you cannot give one practical tip, like say travel light. For example, you want to say, do not carry your personal belongings. For example, do not carry your personal belongings when you go out. For example, right? You have to give more than that. So this will be point 4 and point 5. Now you have all your 5 points here. Sometimes you have 6 points, 7 points, I don't know, but make sure you read the question carefully. So again, I just want to say you don't have to only give two advantages. If you have time, give another advantage. Okay, so maybe this will be point 7 and he'll be point 6, and maybe he'll be point 7. Because if you have extra time, try to give more. If you don't have extra time, don't worry about it. Okay, don't stress about it. Just give two. You're fine. You already have one here. If you don't say the local destination, say your whole article you write about, hey, traveling locally is great. It's a very general article. You do not give a local destination. What happens? You don't get marks for anything, so your content will be zero. All right. If say you give two local destinations, I think it is also wrong, because the question only asks you to write one local destination, a local destination. So you want to make sure you get all your five contents correct. Make sure your P1 is there. If you do not have P1, you cannot get P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, whatever P's are there. All right. Okay. uh so first thing, what you do, you build the structure. So this is what I've done. Point 1, we have looked at this. Point 2, first advantage of traveling locally. Point 3, second advantage. Point 4, first practical tip. And point 5, second practical tip. Okay. So you build the structure, build your essay. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to see like, okay, this is going to be my intro. This is basically going to be paragraph 2, paragraph 3 perhaps, paragraph 4, paragraph 5 perhaps, and then maybe I'm going to have a slight conclusion over here. Do great. So now I have all my 6 paragraphs. You can think like this. Some students will do this is my intro, then maybe these two I'm going to do this as one paragraph. So this is going to be para 2, and then this is going to be para 3. Sorry, these two, and a conclusion maybe para 4. Can, no problem, no problem. It's still accepted as well. Okay. All right. Let's go here. Paragraphing. Okay. As I was saying earlier, this is basically a repetition, but very quickly. So paragraph 1, you have it here. You have point 1, a local destination that should not be missed. So basically, this goes into your introduction. You can also do an introduction. Do an introduction like travel locally is great. It's great for the economy. People should be encouraged. The ministry is doing the government is doing a lot to encourage local travel. The news reports are saying that Malaysians love to spend their holidays outside in Hatia or Thailand. So we should encourage our. You can do that for a whole introduction, and then this can be paragraph 2, where you straight away talk about the local destination that should not be missed. Again, it doesn't really matter. It's really up to you how you want to do it. It depends on how betapa hebat lah kamu menulis. Okay. If you're someone who's really good at writing, I would say paragraph 1, go for something general. Paragraph 2, then you talk about the local destination. Then this will be paragraph 3, this will be paragraph 4, this will be paragraph 5, and then you have your conclusion. Oh, sorry, this is conclusion, anyways. All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So here are some points again, just for you to think. So I just chose Langkawi because I think it's famous. You can also do something very local based on where you're from, like Pulau Perhentian, or you can say like Kota Melaka. Really, really anything that comes into your mind. If you're from Sabah, there's a lot of places in Sabah which are great. Uh, Same for Sarawak, wherever you're from. Okay. Um, Somewhere that you know. So point two, paragraph 2, point 2 and 3 is support local economy, cultural and historical appreciation. So make sure you know some history about it that you can write. Um, so for the practical tips is research your destination. Make sure you know the prices, how to get there, what time things close. What time are the attractions are open, and opt for public transport or walk. This one you can talk about, like, if you're a new place, it's better for you to like walk, because then you get to see the place better, and use public transport because then you can engage with the local community, right? And then then the conclusion, you restate your thesis. So go back to introduction here, what you have written, restate that, and you can synthesize some key points. All right. So I think we're at the really end of the video here. Yeah, we're at the end of the video here. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put out any other videos. Um, but hey, if you're watching this video, you want me to go live, um, like a night before, which is basically on Sunday, like 9 p.m. Now I can try to make it work. Just let me know. And wishing all of you guys the best if you're watching this video. SPM English paper is on the 6th of January. And this video right now, we're doing this on the 4th, which is in Malaysia time. It's reflective of 5 January. So wishing you guys all the best for your papers, and good luck.